Hello, seniors. I'm Mike Hayes. I'm the founder of the SeniorAIFoundation.org and the SeniorAIPodcast.com. I'm absolutely thrilled to introduce our AI collaborators because these are really the digital engines that are helping us bridge the gap between local impact, networking, etc., and global scale. Together, we're transforming how nonprofits grow and how seniors like me master the future of technology.
Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to break down a really powerful nonprofit model.
So how can a local project actually win a $10,000 global grant? Let's dive in. It all comes down to this idea of micro-training hubs. It's a pretty brilliant model.
Think of it like this. It's a local, in-person class, but it's also broadcast live online.
And for grant providers, this is the best of both worlds. You get local impact and global reach.
Okay, so how do you build this? Let's start with your home base, for zero cost.
First things first, get your 501c3 status. That unlocks some amazing free resources. I mean, look at this. Zero rent, a professional space, and free Wi-Fi? It's a no-brainer. Exactly. This spot is your beta site. You perfect the recipe here, then you share it.
Now you need people. Let's see how Google Ads can fill both the physical and virtual seats.
For your local crowd, you run super targeted ads. Think a tiny radius around the cafe. Then, for your online audience, you go big with national ads to get people on Zoom. And on your website, you tie it all together with a simple paragraph. This part's crucial. You want to have all the key details right there. It shows Google you're the real deal.
So what makes this whole setup so grant-proof? Why does it work so well?
It's because this model is built to nail three key things Google absolutely loves to see.
Using a specific location, like Walnut Creek, makes your ads super relevant and cheaper.
Plus, every single Zoom signup is a conversion. This is proof your grant is actually working.
And that brings us to the magic number, a really important one for Google Ad grants.
You have to keep a 5% click-through rate. Those local ads, they make this way easier.
It's all about keeping your grant account in good standing. This model is built to last.
So there you have it, the blueprint. The only question is, what are you going to build?
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we're peeling back the layers on something that feels, well, pretty revolutionary for anyone in the nonprofit world. We're not just looking at a funding strategy. We're examining a complete blueprint for building a sustainable, and this is the key part, a truly scalable nonprofit.
Right.
So if you've been searching for that roadmap that shows you how to blend real local impact with a global reach and do it all while, keeping overheads to a minimum, this is the deep dive you need.
Absolutely. Our mission today is to get into the mechanics of what's called the local to global hybrid nonprofit model.
Okay.
And this isn't theoretical. It's a very specific, actionable strategy. It's really designed to be the best of both worlds. We're going to break down how it maximizes resources, especially by setting things up to satisfy some pretty tough requirements from funders.
Like the Google Ad grant, for instance.
Exactly like the $10,000 Google Ad grant, which so many nonprofits struggle to use effectively.
Okay, so let's unpack this core idea. The foundation of this whole thing is what the source calls a micro-training hub. It sounds a little bit futuristic, but it seems like it's the key to making replication easy and affordable. Why is this hybrid approach so central to the blueprint?
Well, it's because it solves two of the biggest problems in the nonprofit sector at the same time.
Which are?
Proving local accountability and maximizing broad public benefit. See, when you have a tangible local thing happening...
What you see in a room.
Exactly. And then you broadcast that globally over Zoom, you're hitting both targets. You prove that local impact, which is just crucial for community support and getting those first grants.
Right, that initial buy-in.
That initial buy-in. But you're also demonstrating a massive public benefit to a wider audience, which is what you need to keep spending resources like that full Google Ad grant budget month after month. It's a genius dual purpose.
So the goal is this replicable local model, and I've found the way the blueprint talks about this first location is fascinating. They call it the lab.
Yeah, the lab, or the beta site.
Why is framing it that way so important for scaling?
Because it completely shifts your mindset. That first location, using their example of Walnut Creek, it's not just a place where you provide a service. It's basically the nonprofit's research and development department.
Oh, R&D. I like that.
Yeah. Every single decision you make there, the flow of the training, the curriculum, even the tone, It's all done with one explicit goal in mind:
And that is?
to create a recipe that is so perfected it can be instantly downloaded and, executed by a volunteer on the other side of the country.
That R&D analogy is just perfect. And the structure they recommend for this lab, the ratio of people, is very specific, right?
Oh, absolutely. The structure is key. You host about 10 people in person.
So it's intimate.
It's intimate, high touch, local, but at the same time, you're broadcasting live to 100 or more people on Zoom. Keeping the in-person group small makes it manageable, personal. That's where you get your best testimonials, your best content.
And the virtual audience proves the demand?
It validates the immediate need for broad sharing, exactly.
So once that recipe is perfected in the Walnut Creek lab, once you've got the timing and the flow down, that's the moment you can scale without building a huge, expensive central office.
Precisely. The nonprofit can then just hand over the ingredients, the fully developed training paragraphs, the slide decks, the video examples, all of it, to other seniors in other cities. These volunteers can then just launch their own local chapters using the material that's already been built and tested. So scaling happens through replication, not through, a massive central management team.
We have the recipe, now we need the kitchen. And this is where the blueprint just completely flips the script on the biggest cost for most nonprofits. Real estate. Tell us about this Capital One Cafe strategy. How does that achieve zero rent?
This is where it reframes the entire economic model. It's about leveraging existing commercial infrastructure to just eliminate your biggest monthly cost. The strategy is so simple. You use a professional third-party space, like a Capital One Cafe, which offers free community rooms.
But there's a prerequisite, right? You can't just walk in off the street.
No, you've got to be established. That official 501c status is essential. That's your ticket in to qualify for these free rooms.
Okay.
And once you qualify, the setup is incredibly practical. You use the cafe's free high-speed Wi-Fi, which is obviously crucial for a professional Zoom broadcast. You use their semi-private rooms, which usually seat around 6 to 10 people.
Perfect for that intimate local group.
It's perfect. And that room, it effectively becomes the nonprofit's broadcasting studio, but with zero cost.
That is amazing from a cost perspective.
Yeah.
But doesn't that create a huge dependence on a third party? What if the cafe manager changes the policy or closes that room?
That's a critical question, and the blueprint addresses it. It suggests two things. First, the model is designed from the ground up to be location agnostic. Meaning the recipe can be moved to any other public space, a library, a senior center, another cafe, with almost no changes. But second, and this is more important, the strategy really leans into the psychological benefits.
Psychological benefits, what do you mean?
Well, think about it from the senior's perspective. Meeting in a professional, neutral commercial space is just perceived as inherently safer and more legitimate than, say, meeting in someone's private home.
I could see that. It feels more official.
Right. And that perceived safety boosts attendance and trust, which in turn creates this positive, visible energy inside the Capital One Cafe itself. The nonprofit becomes a welcome feature, not a burden, which helps cement that informal partnership for the long term.
So, zero rent. Plus that feeling of safety. That's a huge win-win. Okay, let's switch gears to audience. We have the space, we have the model. But how do we get people in the door, both the physical and the virtual door, while maximizing that $10,000 Google ad grant? This is where the technical details are so important.
Yes, this is where we move from physical strategy to digital mechanics. The hybrid model is what makes a really sophisticated dual targeting ad campaign possible, and that campaign is the engine for grant compliance.
You need ads for the little room and ads for the big virtual room.
You got it. And the wording has to be incredibly precise to split those audiences.
So for the local ads?
For the local ads, the wording is hyper-specific, something like, Senior AI training in Walnut Creek, join us at Capital One Cafe. You're targeting a tiny 10-mile radius. It's immediately relevant.
And for the national ads?
Much broader language. Free senior AI training. Join our live Zoom kitchen from anywhere. That targets seniors all across the country. But the real magic is how this structure satisfies Google's very strict rules.
Okay, let's break that down. This is the stuff our listeners really need to hear. First up, geo-targeting. Why is putting Walnut Creek in the ad so powerful for that budget?
It is the ultimate efficiency hack. Google's entire system is built to reward relevance.
Okay.
When you include Walnut Creek in your keywords and you only target that small area, Google's algorithm sees that you're providing specific, hyper-local value. It rewards that relevance by making your clicks cheaper, so you get way more bang for your grant buck.
It stretches the $10,000.
Stretches it much, much further than a generic national ad ever could.
Okay, efficiency check.
Or
Now, the second big hurdle for the grant, proving the ads actually work. Conversion tracking.
right. Google mandates that you track conversions. They need to see that the money is driving real action, not just, vanity clicks.
And in this model, the key conversion is what?
It's the senior clicking the link that says, register for Zoom.
And why is that specific click so much better than, say, a donate now button for proving value to Google?
Because it's a direct, measurable commitment to participate in the core mission. A donation is great, but a registration proves that your ads are getting people to engage with the service you're advertising. It gives you concrete data.
You can show Google the numbers.
You can show them. Our ads led to hundreds of people signing up for our training this week. That data is just irrefutable proof you're using their money effectively.
And finally, the thing that gets so many nonprofits in trouble, the click-through rate, or CTR. What is that, and how does this hybrid model solve the dreaded 5% problem?
So CTR is simple. It's just the number of clips your ad gets divided by the number of times it was shown. Google requires you to maintain a minimum 5% CTR.
And if you drop below that?
If you drop below that, they see your ads as irrelevant or low quality, and they can suspend your grant. And generic national ads, because they're so broad, often really struggle to hit that 5% mark.
But the local ads are different.
They're completely different.
Yeah.
Think about it. When you see an ad that says, senior AI training in your neighborhood at the Capital One cafe you drive by every day, you are so much more likely to click on it.
Of course.
So these geo-targeted ads generate incredibly high CTRs, sometimes way over 10%. By running these high performers alongside the national ads, the overall average CTR for your entire grant account gets pulled way up, safely above that 5% minimum.
It's a symbiotic relationship.
It's totally symbiotic. It keeps the whole grant alive.
That's a brilliant insight. It connects the physical place directly to the digital compliance. It's not just a nice idea, it's a financial survival mechanism.
Yeah.
So let's talk execution. How do you communicate all this on the website? What's the specific language you need to use?
Okay, so the blueprint is very specific here. The language has to manage expectations for both audiences. The event name itself is strategic. The safe weekly kitchen.
Safe.
It immediately implies security, community, a low-stress environment, and the session is called the AI Kitchen Prep.
And you have to be totally transparent about the hybrid format, right?
Mm-hmm.
For the user. And I guess for any grant auditors looking at the site.
100% correct. The website copy has to clearly state the specifics. Intimate session, 10 local seniors in person, broadcast live globally via Zoom. It sets the expectation perfectly. And crucially, it names the curriculum. You're not just teaching vague computer skills, you're teaching cutting-edge AI tools.
Specifically Gemini and Notebook LM.
Right. And for listeners who might not be familiar, that's a really smart choice. Gemini is Google's big, everyday AI. It's practical.
Like for summarizing an article or something.
Exactly. But Notebook LM is different. It's like a personal research assistant. It lets seniors upload their own documents, say training materials or even complex medical info, and then ask the AI questions about them. It simplifies their own information.
Wow, that's incredibly useful.
It's super useful, and it shows any grant observer that the curriculum is valuable and relevant.
That detail is key. And then finally, the site needs that dual call to action.
Yes. You must have two separate trackable links. One link for the limited in-person seats. Register for an in-person seat. That proves your tangible local impact.
And the second one?
The second is for the global audience. Get the Zoom link for the virtual banquet. That provides the high-volume conversion tracking that Google needs to see. This separation lets you track both parts of your mission precisely.
The thing that really stands out is just how neatly all of these pieces lock together. The scalable lab, the zero-cost location, the dual ad campaign, and the specific website language. It's an incredibly clever, fully integrated blueprint.
It really is an end-to-end system. The local presence funds the global reach, the grant money advertises both, and the free location makes the high-quality broadcast possible. It minimizes the admin headaches while maximizing the documented impact.
It just provides so much clarity for anyone looking to build a sustainable nonprofit in this day and age. And speaking of clarity, the blueprint suggests the very next step isn't just launching the site, it's creating a Capital One Cafe pitch deck. A deck not for funders, but to sell the cafe manager on the value your nonprofit is going to bring to their specific location. Positive energy, goodwill, that sort of thing.
Yeah, that pitch deck has to be irresistible. I mean, you're relying on them for that zero rent space. So thinking about everything we've just discussed, what key metrics would you put in that pitch deck to absolutely guarantee a yes from that manager? Think beyond just, we're good people. What immediate, tangible benefits would they see from having this high-tech broadcasting studio running in their space every week? Something for you to mull over as you think about applying this blueprint to your own mission.
Well, that's our deep dive for today. The future of community impact is here. It's scalable, so I hope you'll join our mission and stay ahead of the curve. You can simply visit the AIfoundation.org right now. You can subscribe for free for ongoing education on the go right in your inbox. So let's build something that is great together, and I look forward to working with you. I'm Mike Hayes.